Hello and welcome to the Classroom Connection, the show that takes you inside Marion County Public Schools. It is June, and of course that means the end of school and the start of summer. We will share some summer tips with you, including what you can do to get ready for the first day of school next year. You will see some of the best videos created by Marion County students and honored at this year's Student Media Festival. And there's a brand new look for school buses right here in Marion County. We'll show you what's rolling on local streets thanks to a creative financial move. Up first though, summer this year is 1 week shorter. That's right. Several years ago, the state legislature mandated when districts could start school, no sooner than 2 weeks before Labor Day. This year is different, however. Legislators changed that law and gave districts more flexibility to set their own starting dates. Tom Louder sat down with school board member Carol Ely recently to find out how this affects Marion County Public Schools.
Okay, well, the legislature finally saw to it that we, the counties, are allowed to start school 10 days earlier than previous years. And so each county is deciding what's best for their county. Marion County decided, Mr. Tomyn discussed it with us, the school board members at great length, let's just start 1 week earlier this year to not make too big of a transition. And this is going to be good for kids. The benefit, it's best for our kids. We need to start earlier. Let me go back the history of this. 2006, we did start, up until 2006, we did start earlier. But the legislature decided that the tourism industry in Florida was impacted too much because our kids were in school too early. And so the legislature, they decided that because they can do that to start school two weeks later, and that way they can have 2 more weeks of heavy tourist season. Well, they got pretty smart and decided that probably wasn't best for kids, and that's what we should be making these decisions for, not what's best for the tourism industry. Well, this was in the newspaper since March, so we're not doing it to purposely disrupt any vacation plans, but I feel like, and I'm a mom and a grandma, and we take vacations, and I feel like that's plenty of time for us to make any kind of changes that we need to make. But this is best for kids, and that's what you have to remember. He said that he would work with families. I believe that they'll be able to get the extra work that they've missed, and the first week of school is not a lot of heavy work, but they'll be able to make it up within a reasonable amount of time, and their absences will be excused if the parents let the schools know ahead of time, not after they come back. So to take 2 weeks out of the summer would be really a challenge, and we want to get all that training. So it's a win-win for everybody.
With the change in the school calendar, it means you might need to rearrange your plans for this summer. Here are some important dates and reminders as you prepare for the next school year. sure to mark your calendars accordingly so you don't forget. Well, no doubt many people already have December 18th circled. That's the last day of the first semester and when the new Star Wars movie debuts. A good trailer can do that, build excitement for an upcoming release. Lake Weir High School students followed that formula to make their Annette advertisement, which captured Best of Show honors recently at the Marion County Student Media Festival. Let's take a look at that.
Annette! I told you that was your last warning! Get over here! If I could go back and make you disappear, I would do that.
Please, I'm sorry. No. He killed me here. That's why I can never leave. You're not supposed to be here.
Stay tuned for more Best of Show winners from this year's festival. We'll have them coming up later in the show. Now, we've all heard there are 3 R's of education: reading, writing, and arithmetic. But for many students, there is a 4th R, riding, as in riding the school bus. Well, just a few weeks ago, our district rolled out 44 brand new buses, and our own Chadwick Pierce was there for their debut.
Good morning, Joyce Collins. It's been a long time coming, lady.
Good morning.
35 years ago, I knew you at Dunnellon High School. And today, our longest reigning successful bus driver, I'm going to present you with the keys to one of the first buses that we bought, and you get to be one of our first drivers.
Hey,
Congratulations.
thank you.
It's an honor to do this for you.
Thank you, Mr. Tomyn.
Just recently, Marion County received some of the new buses they ordered, and they are like nothing you have ever seen. Bigger wheels, large tinted windows, and more aerodynamic and fuel efficient than ever before.
These buses that we purchased this year to the district, some of the cost savings that we looked at and went with is that air over disc brakes. This is a feature that our older buses don't have. It is an anti-lock brake system too. These buses also come with a AC system. It's a split system where the drivers can close these other units off, run the dash air when they're deadheading. This transmission on this bus has a retard system on it, so when they're driving and decelerate, it retards the engine, which is a fuel savings cost to it. This Cummins engine, the 6.70 went to, is something we don't have in our fleet. It's something new. Other districts are using this product now, and it's been complying great with all the EPA regulations. So this is one of the reasons that we went with some of these features on this bus.
The longest running bus driver in Marion County noticed some of the other features right away.
The tinted windows. Also, by coming in, the AC is great. Years back, we didn't have the tinted windows, we didn't have air-conditioned buses. Also, too, the interior is beautiful. It's like a car. It's real nice.
New buses in the district are long overdue, and this new fleet is going to benefit everyone involved.
The oldest bus we own in this fleet is a 1993. These buses that we've ordered here that you see in front of you this district's been waiting a long time, not just for a cost issue, it's a safety issue. These buses come all with seat belts, OEM seat belts, the driver's cockpit that you'll see later inside this bus, the way it's set up. All these features that these older buses back at that time didn't come with from the factory. And all these standards, it's all about keeping the driver and the kids safe.
$4.85 million spent on 44 buses may seem like a lot of money, but the district is actually saving money in the long run.
If we don't replenish our feet, we're going to spend more money in trying to get the children to and from school. We're never going to eliminate buses transporting students to and from school. So as long as we have that occurring, then you need to make sure you're doing it in the most safe and efficient way possible. You can't continue to run your old buses that are more than 20 years old and then expect to save money at the same time. You're going to spend more money in the maintenance costs of those buses and the burning of the fuel.
Not all of our students ride the bus. Some drive themselves to school, provided they have a functioning car. Well, let's take Rose Corder for instance. She's a graduating senior at Westport High School who endured a horrible family tragedy last Christmas Day. Determined to stay the course, Rose continued her quest at Westport and drove to school every day until her car fell apart, literally. But thanks to some help from her brothers in arms, car trouble is no longer a problem for Rose. Joel Hartley explains why.
One of the requirements is that before she goes to basic training, she has to go to a recruit sustainment program. It's in Stark, Florida, and she was driving that vehicle that was stalling out to get to make it up there because she committed to do that. So one of the most things you need for the National Guard, you need reliable transportation.
Driving an hour and a half up there, stalling like every time I stopped, that didn't really work that well. It was a real hassle, but I had to do what I had to do to get, to where I had to be.
Rose brings me her vehicle, and there's nothing there to work with. Myself and my guys determined it needed to find a sunny spot in a junkyard. So I called Rose and I said, "Hey Rose, take the car. I got to figure something out for you." I started reaching out to friends and customers of mine, and between Tuesday morning and Wednesday evening, I'd raised over $5,000 to purchase Rose a newer used car. So Thursday evening or Wednesday evening, I bought the car. We spent all day Thursday at my shop preparing it to give to her, servicing it, putting new tires on it, belts and whatnot, and well, here we are.
What? Oh wait, what? What? Oh my God! I almost ran into a tomato. I'm gonna cry.
You can cry. You can cry. You remember the guy you were talking to about your car? Right over there?
As a former service member and a veteran, one of the things we do is we look out for each other. And, even though I don't wear the uniform anymore, that's still a brother or a sister to me. And that's the way I look at it. Nothing makes you feel better than getting outside of yourself and doing something for someone else. Here you go, sweetheart.
I can't stop crying.
I think a situation like this definitely shows the strength of the National Guard. And the strength of the National Guard is the people that it's in, the communities.
Obviously you were overwhelmed by the car, but then the teenager kicked in. First, I guess the Floridian kicked in, because I got to see if it's got air conditioning.
Oh my gosh, as I see.
I guess the car you had before.
The other car didn't have. It was a 2 going 50, 2 windows down, trying to go 50. Didn't work whenever the car would stop.
But this one has air conditioning, and then the teenager kicked in. Make sure I got a radio.
And then the smell of a new car. It's awesome.
We took the excess donations, the above and beyond the purchase price of the car, and purchased gas cards and Publix grocery store gift cards for her.
I also got one that was for Outback Steakhouse. I've never been there, so that's gonna be awesome.
I still remember her and her dad came to my office, and like I told Rose, when you enlist in the National Guard, you're joining a family. They're going to be there to support you and help you through everything in life. And the ultimate end goal for Rose is going to be to go to college, working part-time for the National Guard. And I look forward to being at Rose's college graduation when she goes to pursue her career in crime scene investigation.
What a tremendous outpouring of support for Rose. We congratulate you and wish you the best after graduation. Well, speaking of graduation, it offers plenty of celebration and parties this month, but we all have to remember never to drink and drive. Students at Dunnellon High School learned a lesson in what happens if you drive under the influence, thanks to this year's mock DUI scenario. Tom Louder has more.
911, what's the address for your emergency?
Yes, I was just driving and there's a crash that just happened at Dunnellon High School track.
And what are the colors of the vehicles?
There's a black Honda and a Toyota.
And it occurred in the track? It occurred on the track at Dunnellon High School?
This needs to be a continued concern. I mean, it does not need to stop, and it needs to go on in reference to from the schools and outside the schools. You know, even though the numbers have gone down, they're slowly trickling back up, and it's because of everyone's effort that we have got the information out. There's more people now using their seatbelts than we've ever had in this county, in our city, and everything else.
All the personnel involved with this function give freely of their own time to spread a very important phrase, "Don't drink and drive," and to present a very valid point in doing so.
This is a growing concern. I mean, at one point the numbers were going down, but now they're slowly trickling back up. We need to sit there and continue with any effort and every effort we can, because, like I said, one life, one child is well worth any effort we can put into it.
It takes several agencies to operate an event of this size and importance, along with many of our private businesses, to get the word out that all it could affect, and in doing so, saving lives, even if it's only one student at a time.
But as to everything else, we need it pushed, because this is one of the biggest deals that's facing every single one of us every single year. I mean, it's just too much to lose any kid at any time.
The need to educate is not only for teachers, but those committed to our young people. This message is especially necessary for those graduating.
Well, when I get my license, I definitely will not drink and drive. I won't drink alcohol. I'm not into that. But the message for me is it can happen to anybody. Even if you don't think that it's going to happen to you, it'll happen.
Kids today have many stresses and encounter more problems than most of us ever did growing up. But the same still holds true even today. Students care for one another and would like them to stay around a while.
Well, for one, definitely don't drink and drive. It's not worth a life to get into a car with somebody that has been drinking. It's, like I said before, it's better to get grounded instead of getting within a car with somebody else that has been drinking, that could potentially kill you, and they could potentially survive. It's not worth
look you in the eye and
anything.
say these final words, Mom, I love you and goodbye.
Anti-drinking and driving public service announcements are always a popular theme in the Student Media Festival, as are video science projects. And that is the subject of our next Best of Show winner. This video comes from the K2 age group from Dr. N.H. Jones Elementary. Here is the life cycle of a ladybug.
The life cycle of a ladybug.
There are about 5,000 different species of ladybugs throughout the world. Ladybugs aren't really bugs at all, they're beetles.
Ladybugs can also be called ladybirds.
A ladybug's bright colors warn predators to stay away.
Ladybugs lay their eggs on the undersides of leaves.
Ladybug larvae look like tiny alligators with long bodies and bumpy skin. Ladybug larvae eat aphids, mealbugs, and mites. Over its lifetime, a ladybug may consume as many as 5,000 aphids.
The pupa is about the size of the adult, but is all wrapped up, protecting the ladybug while it undergoes metamorphosis into its adult stage.
Birds are the major predator of the ladybug.
Ladybugs will play dead when threatened.
If food is scarce, ladybugs will do what they must to survive, even if it means eating each other.
We have one more Best of Show video for you in just a few moments, but first, I want you to meet Snap, the only service animal working in our entire school district. Joel Hartley shows us how this canine cares for his master in more ways than one.
He helps me.
How does he help you?
When I sick, he barks. There's no I sick.
He is Snap, currently the only service dog at work in Marion County Public Schools, and the first service dog both Ward-Highlands principal Melissa Kynard and physically impaired teacher Jocelyn Lee have ever dealt with.
I was excited, but a little apprehensive because there's quite honestly a lot that goes with having a service dog on your campus. But the kids here at Ward-Highlands have proven to be resilient, and the main thing that they had to know was that they don't talk to Snap because Snap is always a working dog when he's here with his student.
The first hurdle was making sure the other students knew he wasn't a pet.
Kids have been wonderful. The first day or so in my room, I had to go over again that, they couldn't touch. And everything, but every now and then they'll sneak a peek at a pet. But he's been, it's like he's not even here. He stays on his own little thing, and the adults all want to take him home.
What we did is we brought Snap in the first couple of days at school and brought him into the 2 classrooms that his student goes to and introduced the dog to the kids as a dog. And then we put his red vest on him that says service dog on it, and they knew when they see him with the red vest that he is a working dog and that they just can't talk to Snap because that distracts him from doing what he needs to do. Snap's job here at Ward-Highlands is to help Emma identify when she has seizures. When she has a seizure coming on, he alerts in the form of barking, standing up, alerting the teacher.
They say it's the smell that when they're going to have a seizure, that he gets that odor to begin with.
As you can see kind of today, he's laying down. He always lays down next to his student, but when he sits up and he starts circling Emma, starts barking, then we know that she's getting ready to have a seizure, and that has actually happened several times here at Ward-Highlands, where Snap has been able to alert the teacher, and we've been able to get proper medical personnel here for her right away.
But maybe the biggest thing Snap has done for Emma is simply let her be a normal 3rd grader.
He's been a great dog for her, and it's improved her confidence level having a dog because she was always, kind of shy and everything, and the kids didn't kind of gravitate to her, but now, with the dog and everything, and then she's like at PE now, I can see how much she plays with the other kids and everything.
She has more freedom to go out to PE activities and go to art and music classes and go in the cafeteria, and she feels more confident because she's not as afraid of what if I have a seizure and there's nobody there to help me right away. She knows that her service dog goes with her everywhere, and the service dog Snap senses it before any of us humans know that it's coming on. So I think it's given her a sense of security and confidence that she might not have had without Snap.
While we usually do not expect to see a dog on campus, you also might not expect to see the superintendent roaming the halls. Well, George Tomyn likes to do just that, be out of the office and in schools as much as he can, especially to share his monthly thoughts with us now, this time from Anthony Elementary.
I'm here at Anthony Elementary School this morning for the dedication of another Little Free Library. The Little Free Library movement is a nationwide movement to promote reading. As you can see, here at Anthony Elementary is a small library, in the library containing books for adults and also for children. At any time, day or night, any citizen is welcome to come by and pick out a book to take home and read. We're also encouraging people to leave appropriate materials in the Little Free Library for others to read also. Our librarians will keep these well stocked, and our school will make sure that the Little Free Library is maintained. We have about 10 or 15 of these Little Free Libraries all around Marion County, and we're seeing many organizations begin to sponsor these. This particular Little Free Library is sponsored by the Greater Ocala Women's Club. This group of dedicated women also come to Anthony Elementary School and read to our children, a very, very important function and a very great volunteer opportunity for those involved. We appreciate their efforts. A couple of other organizations in our community also contribute to reading, which we know is very important. Our United Way sponsors the Reading Pals program for kindergarten students, in which volunteers come to schools and read to kindergarten students. The Kiwanis Club of Ocala also sponsors a great program called Reading is Fundamental, in which the Kiwanis Club members purchase and then hand out to elementary students 2 or 3 books per year that they can call their own books and keep them for their own reading pleasure. We know that reading is important. We know that reading is fundamental for the success of all. We appreciate the Greater Ocala Women's Club for sponsoring the Little Free Library Project. We encourage you to take advantage of this great opportunity throughout our community.
And finally today, we leave you with a third Best of Show video, this time from grades 3 through 5 from Harborview Elementary. Here is Everybody Needs a Hug. Thanks for watching and enjoy.
Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Hug your mama, hug your brother, hug your daddy, hug each other. Everybody needs a hug. A-to-G from you to me. A-to-G from you to me. A-to-G from you to me. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Hug your mama, hug your brother, hug your daddy, hug each other. Everybody needs a hug. A-to-G at HBE. A-to-G at HBE. A-to-G at HBE. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Hug your mama, hug your brother, hug your daddy, hug each other. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Hug your mama, hug your brother, hug your daddy, hug each other. Everybody needs a hug. A-to-G from you to me. A-to-G from you to me. A-to-G from you to me. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Hug your mama, hug your brother, hug your daddy, hug each other. Everybody needs a hug. A-to-G at HBE. A-to-G at HBE. A-to-G at HBE. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody needs a hug. Hug your mama, hug your brother, hug your daddy, hug each other.